Now, many people are going to say, wait a minute, hold on a second. Isn't what you're saying against Prager and his university and all of his protectors of Judaism, Lashon Hara? Well, we heard from the Chazon Ish that if somebody is wicked, the laws of Lashon Hara don't apply. Then you can say, well, yeah, but that's probably just, the Chazon Ish, you're just wording it that way. He didn't really say that. Well, okay, you know what? Let's just go to the master of teachings of Lashon Hara. We'll go to the Chafetz Chaim himself. Chafetz Chaim in the Sefer Chafetz Chaim, in Ilchot Isurei Lashon Hara, Halacha 8. The chapter 8, Halacha number 5. The entire Isur of Lashon Hara applies specifically to a victim who the Torah considers to be your brother, your fellow Jew, someone who observes Torah and mitzvot. Meaning, Lashon Hara only applies to people that observe the Torah and mitzvot. That's the only one that's considered amitecha, which means your brother. If the person drives on Shabbat like Dennis, or is a Christian missionary, eats pork on a regular basis, and is dishonest in their business on a regular basis, lies about all types of things on a regular basis, Chilul Hashem and so on, that person is definitely not your brother, even if his mother and his grandmother, all the way to Moshe Rabbeinu, were all Jews. Doesn't make a difference. He's not considered part of Amitecha. And the laws of Lashon Hara, the Chafetz Chaim says, are only pertaining to someone that's considered to be your brother, your fellow Jew. And if you don't understand what your brother, your fellow Jew means, he elaborates, someone who observes Torah and mitzvot. Now, if you're still hard-minded, you want further elaboration, Chafetz Chaim knew that, so he elaborated further. But to those persons who are known as heretics, apostates, i.e., Prager, Manis, Dror, Ephraim, all of the other heretics that we mentioned before, Ben, all these people, we only mention them because they crossed the line and became heretics because of certain things they did. Putting the Torah in danger, putting the Jewish people in danger with their actions, distorted the Torah, mistranslating the rules on purpose and so on, such as what I mentioned to you with Dennis Prager, with the kosher, or with violating Shabbat and so on. So what about those people? Those people that are considered as apostates, as heretics. It's a mitzvah. It's a mitzvah. It's a mitzvah, Rabotai. It's a mitzvah to degrade and humiliate them. Either directly to them in their presence or not in their presence. For whatever sins they were seen committing or sins that were heard they committed. I mean, you don't even have to be there or see the sins they made. You heard that he cheated on his wife. You heard that he stole. You heard that he did something. If he's already known as a heretic, you're allowed to make fun of him. In fact, it's a mitzvah, just like putting on tefillin. Mitzvah, like keeping Shabbat. Mitzvah, like keeping kosher. Mitzvah to make fun of those people. Mitzvah to expose them. Mitzvah to humiliate them. Directly, indirectly. The Torah instructs us. In Vayikra 25:17, Leviticus 25:17, do not oppress your fellow Jew. But yet in Vayikra, in Leviticus 19:16, says, do not peddle gossip in society. And these people are not included in this warning because they have repudiated Hashem and didn't behave as Jews should. This concept is expressed by David HaMelech in Tehillim 139:21, where he says, David HaMelech who says to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I don't have a Yetzirah. I don't have a Yetzirah. David HaMelech says, I don't have a Yetzirah to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. What did he say in Tehillim 139:21 that the Chafetz Chaim brings? David HaMelech says, those who hate you, Hashem, I hate them. And those who rise up against you, I will fight. Rabotai, David HaMelech was Kodesh Kodashim. He says that Alo misanecha Adonai yasne, ubitkomemecha et kotat. Who does he hate? Does he hate the people that tried to kill him? Does he hate the people that tried to kill his family? What does David? David HaMelech had a lot of haters, had a lot of people go against him. What does he hate? David HaMelech says he hates the people that hate Hashem. And he quarrels with those who rise up against Hashem. But not just any quarrel, Rabotai. He continues in verse 22. With the utmost hatred I hate them. Tachlit sin'as netim lo'ivim ayuli. With the utmost hatred I hate them. They have become enemies unto me. David HaMelech, which the Chafetz Chaim brings, David HaMelech hates those that hate Hashem. Who are those people? Who are those people that hate Hashem? Somebody has to go in the streets, say, I hate Hashem. Dennis Prager says he loves Hashem. Dennis Prager and the rest of the people who mentioned, they say they love Hashem. Some of them do, at least. So, what's the connection? Chafetz Chaim gives us the connection. The definition of an apostate, a kofir, is someone who repudiates the Torah and denies that prophecy was given to Israel's prophets, whether he denies the Rin Torah or the Torah that was handed down through the generations by oral tradition. The Shas, the Talmud, this is the Torah Shebe'al Peh, the oral Torah. This person that denies any one of these parts of the Torah, like Dennis does on a regular basis, says he doesn't think this, he doesn't think even that the Rin Torah was given to Moshe Rabbeinu. He says, I have no position on this. Definitely disagrees with the sages of the Gemara. He says, I like them, but they're just people. Even though the Gemara Masechet Shabbat says, anyone that thinks they're just people is for sure a donkey. Nonetheless, so he's denying their significance. He's denying that we're supposed to follow what they say. He said you can follow his way. Why? He says that Rashi is not relevant, chas v'shalom. Rashi is not relevant. Dennis Prager is relevant. He actually says it with his own words, with his own mouth, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu allowed him to continue living. That's how much mercy Hashem has in this world. Which part of the reason for that is because the Gemara Masechet Yomah, page 86, says, when a Rasha, really big Rasha, like a Dennis or a Manis or somebody like that, does tshuva, it brings a lot of mercy to the world. Maybe it's possible that he actually do tshuva. Anyway, Rabotai Yekarim, Chafetz Chaim says, someone that desecrates the Torah like this, someone that's a kofir, by denying either the written Torah or the oral tradition, this person is a kofir, even if he says that the entire Torah is God-given, except for one sentence, or except for a single logical deduction made by our sages, or a single chidush, a single insight learned from the juxtaposition of two sentences in the Torah, and one single grammatical issue. In denying even these seemingly inconsequential details, the Chafetz Chaim says, this person has repudiated the entire Torah, denying the authority of our sages of Chazal, has rejected Hashem, and he is a kofir, meaning he is considered as if he is an enemy of God. He hates God no matter how many times he draws a heart sign in God's name on it. Denying the Torah, denying our sages, denying an oral tradition or the written is 100% a declaration of war against God. This, Rabotai Yekarim, is one of the things that not only gives us a permission to expose these wicked people, but rather makes it a mitzvah that's so significant that when a person humiliates these people, he brings mercy to the world. But again, only humiliating in the name of the Torah, not humiliating for personal reasons. And that's what the Chafetz Chaim says. There's a mitzvah to degrade and humiliate these people. Why? Because they're enemies of God. They're enemies of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Now the Gemara, in Masechet Yomah, which obviously preceded the Chafetz Chaim or the Rambam or anyone pretty much that's in the last 1500 years, says further, מפרסמים את החנפנים מפני חילול השם, שנאמר, ובשוב צדיק מצדקו, ועשה עוול, ונתתי מכשול לפניו. The Gemara in Masechet Yoma, page 86b says, we exposed the hypocrites. We exposed the hypocrites, for otherwise there's going to be a desecration of Hashem's name. Where do we learn it from? We learn it from a verse in the prophet Yecheskel, chapter 3, verse 20, where HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, when a righteous person turns from his righteousness and acts corruptly, I place a stumbling block before him. Sages say we learn from here, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is talking about a hypocrite, not a righteous person. Why? A righteous person doesn't act corruptly. A righteous person acts righteously. So what is he saying here? When the righteous person acts corruptly, meaning people thought he was righteous. People thought he was righteous. He's got a long beard. He's got white hair. He says he loves Judaism. He says he's protecting Judaism. He's fighting for Judaism. He looks and acts as if he's righteous. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, when the righteous person turns from his righteousness, he puts the righteousness on the side, he puts the show on the side, and then he acts corruptly. The real version of him comes out. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, I'm going to give you a warning, you hypocrites. Dennis, Manis, Dror, Ephraim, all of these people that we know of and that we don't know of, but surely HaKadosh Baruch Hu knows you. And he already wrote about you in the prophet Yecheskel, giving you a warning, you hypocrites. Giving you a warning that he will give you opportunities to sin. He will give you opportunities to sin in a big way. Why? Because that's going to be your end. Because eventually, all of that desecration of Hashem's name that you've been doing in private will be exposed in public. All of it will come out. All of it will come out. And it's our mitzvah, Rabotai Yekarim, to expose this, to bring it out. Why? Because if you see one of these clowns suffer suddenly a heart attack, or some type of disease, or some type of loss, or some type of damage, and you think they're righteous, you think they're protectors of the Torah, you think they're protectors of Judaism, you think they're protectors of the Jewish people, and you see that they're suffering all of a sudden, you see that they're losing all of a sudden, you say, wow, that's what Hashem does to his lovers. That would be a desecration of Hashem's name. Hence the obligation to expose these people, and the reason why the Gemara says exposing such people brings mercy to the world, just like Pinchas brought mercy to the world by killing Zimri and Cosbi. Brings mercy to the world. Why? Because now that you know that they're not righteous, that they're really wicked, when you see that eventually their demise, their suffering, when you see it, it's not going to be a desecration of Hashem's name. Why? Everyone says, they had it coming. They had it coming. Look, this guy is talking, is promoting all types of heresy. He's doing all types of heretical things. He's bringing missionaries to the synagogue. Missionaries are part of his organization. People that are literally murdering the neshamot of Jewish people, he's helping them. He's promoting them. Or he's promoting different types of pedophiles. Or he's working together with people that are against the Torah, and so on and so forth. He had it coming. He was going against Hashem for so long. How much patience do you think Hashem has? Eventually, he has to pay you the bill.